Hi, I'm Jess. I have full-time RV with 2 horses, and one of the most common questions I get is, how do you set up your camp? So today I'm going to show you how I organize my feed room, my hay storage, and my tack room, and then another time I'll go over how to set up electric fencing. You can see my 2 horses, River and Mackenzie, are having their morning hay and snack. Right now we're planning on being stationary for a while, so I have a stockpile of hay both in the trailer and outside. So this hay that's outside is on wood up off the ground so that it doesn't get moldy, and it's covered with a tarp to protect it from the dew overnight. Even though we're in Southern California and it's pretty dry, anything outside ends up with a lot of dew on it. So inside my 2-horse trailer, I keep one stall for feed and the other stall for supplies. Right now we have a whole bunch of Bermuda hay available, but I always carry some kind of compressed bale or hay pellets or hay cubes so that I have something to give the horses in case hay becomes scarce. And I keep all of my feed in lidded containers if it is any kind of textured or sweet feed. And then the horses get a wet mash twice a day of beet pulp and hay pellets. And this helps keep their gut moving, keep them hydrated. And right now I'm trying out a new feed from Stable Mix, and it has beet pulp in it as well as a bunch of other good stuff. So I've got a lot of extra feed at the moment, plus because I do endurance, I always have at least 3 types of feed available, so that I have higher calorie, higher energy stuff for race days. So anyway, I keep all my stuff, all my feed in closed containers so that the flies don't get to it. And then over here, I've got extra shavings because I always keep shavings on the floor of the trailer. But then also, sometimes we have to camp on very hard ground, and I like the horses to be able to lie down comfortably, so I usually put out at least half a bag of shavings for each horse. They also will pee into their hay if they don't have something nice and absorbent on the ground. So that could be a trick if you guys run into any similar problems. And then whenever we're stationary, I just kind of lay things out so that it's easy to get to. I have a couple blankets here for River, who has a pretty good trace clip. Like, most of the hair is gone off of her neck and her chest from doing an endurance ride in October. So when it gets real cold, she definitely needs some kind of protection. And inside, you'll notice these Christmas lights draped around. Those are a new idea of mine because I found solar powered Christmas lights. And this little solar panel out here has an auto switch. So that means at night, when the solar panel stops getting input from the sun, the lights turn on automatically. So when I come out at night to feed the horses, I have lights already on in the trailer. And right now, while we're stationary, I have extra hay bales inside the trailer standing vertically, and they're just held with a light duty ratchet strap just to kind of hold them up. You can see this eye bolt. I drilled it into the frame, and it goes all the way through into the tack room where there's a nut on the other side to keep it secure. And I check those nuts periodically to make sure they haven't vibrated loose, because when I drive with the hay, I will have it oriented with the cut side down and then 2 bales next to each other in the head portion or the manger portion of the horse trailer. So this trailer has that stud wall and a bar running from the floor to the ceiling, and I use that to kind of wedge and stabilize the hay bales, and then a ratchet strap on both levels into these eye bolts. So I'll have 2 bales side by side on the bottom, 2 bales side by side on the top, and then sometimes I'll even have 1 or 2 bales vertically like this, filling up the extra space on the other side. And depending what kind of hay you're getting and how much the bales weigh, that'll determine how long they are and how much space they take up in your trailer. So for me, if they're 100-pound bales, I can fit a set of bales lengthwise, and then it'll leave room for 1 or 2 bales to squeeze in vertically, and I just maximize space that way. But when we are moving, I upgrade to a heavy-duty ratchet strap, and again, I have the bolts up here for 1 set of bales on top, and then there's a lower one for a set of bales on the bottom, and as long as they're in securely and ratcheted down tight, they do not move while we're driving, and I feel that the horses are safe enough. I have some corral panels up on the roof. Again, I installed eye bolts through the frame and I ratchet them down. We've only actually used them once in a 1.5 years of traveling, so they're just kind of up there as an extra in case item. This is my tack room. I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. I've got 4 saddles on 2 racks in the back there. I'm meaning to install another saddle rack. There's a bucket of blankets and extra saddle pads underneath the saddle racks. And then I have hanging baskets that are attached to the walls with this track system. It's a system called Gladiator that is sold at Lowe's. They have the baskets, fabric baskets, and then wire baskets like this one, and then all kinds of hooks like I have for the bridles and martingales, breastplates up here. So it works on this track system, and all of the hooks and baskets are movable. They just slide in and out of the tracks like that. It's really awesome. I highly recommend them. And they're pretty sturdy. I've got everything from leg wraps and saddlebags and boots and helmets, all kinds of stuff on these, in these baskets and on these hooks. Hoof boots, half chaps. Those are just some command hooks in the corners. And everything stays in place pretty sturdily. The only thing I do to keep these drawers from opening when we're driving is I take all of my feed buckets that you saw in the back and fill up this whole space in front of the drawers and pretty much stack everything to about mid-height, and then I throw any lightweight stuff on top of all that, and it keeps everything pretty nice and secure while we're driving. And I'm able to fit everything I need for 2 horses doing endurance, dressage, jumping. I have all that equipment plus an entire crate full of veterinary supplies, which is in this gray bucket, and that's everything that would normally be in my barn, but now I've had to squeeze it into this trailer that we live with and travel everywhere with. So that's how I keep it all organized, even though it may not look super organized. So that's a quick tour of our campsite. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have other questions and if I missed anything, just drop me a line and let me know, and I'll try to explain it in a future video. Have a good one.